poetry, Poettree. Arrested in Mississippi for having medical marijuana. I was a Rasta, had my weed, had my medical marijuana card. Thought I checked all the boxes, but forgot about driving while black. The cop tried to do everything, tased me 9 times, pulled me out of the vehicle, a lot of false accusations. When the doors slammed, and I knew I was facing 40 to 80 years, essentially a life sentence, wouldn't see my son again, I wrote these words: African dance. I just want to disappear into the broad daylight, into an African dance when the sun is bright. In our mother's womb, I did a duet with our twin sister in that darkness. Now his son gets to imitate the moves his auntie likes best. Get the picture? Because it's worth 1,000 birds. I just want to release from my chest other people's regrets and study and learn ancient words in a place where life itself is a verb. In spite of an absent father, I still feel blessed. A coward, he waited till our mom was in her 60s, then left. I just want to be another unique pattern on a continent where grand greatness is common and diamonds are plentiful like ocean sun and responsibility is not afraid to be a man. I just want to disappear into the rhythm and Afro beat till sweat pours from my forehead, hands and feet in the heat. I want to go where I am from and feel complete, replete among the powerful, meek and humble elite. Where courage is not afraid of speech and you don't have to eat meat to be strong and you don't have to compete to live long. I just want to prance with the prize, equestrian, giving freedom's permission for the lion's pride. I want to roar with the Rastaman, ride, Nati, ride, high on the cannabis milk from Mama Nubia's breast, the best of the best. I want to take hold of Empress Makeda Nyambe, Queen of Sheba's waistline, and imitate the serpentine movement of her spine till Black Solomon gets jealous and Mama Ghana starts crying. I want to roar at the top of our lungs only to be drowned out by 144,000 trumpeting elephants in Mozambique and Ethiopian Nyabingi Congo drums. I want to bend air and space and water and time in a place where fire is still divine and prayer is still legal and not a crime and God is love and divinity is not dead and peer pressure produces pyramids instead of dread. I just want to roar and forgive and live and let live. I just want to roar and forgive and live and let live. I just want to roar and forgive, Mama Africa, and live and let live. Black fire. How's everybody doing? Y'all good? Y'all feel good? Y'all show? Yeah. All right then. I'm just making sure. Cloaked in her red dress, with a calm authority, she approached her microphone, golden in its hue. And we knew that no matter what art form she chose to express herself, that we would be left nothing short of blessed. And then on cue, her lips parted, and it was as if the ocean began to sing, accompanied by the waves as they ebbed and flowed. Seemingly, the heavens opened and allowed a melodic thunder to roll our way. And there she stood, with her pearls about her neck like raindrops frozen in time, allowing both beauty and strength to erupt from her belly, ever so elegantly singeing our consciousness, so much so that all we could do was stand and stare. But not just in her ability, but the fluidity of the tone as it flooded our souls. God must have endowed her with the voices of angels as she summoned forth the chants of our ancestors so that her song could drip from her lips with both power and the sweetness of honey as it falls from the comb. She sounded like righteousness and truth. She sounded like hope and love. She sounded like a queen, like a goddess. She sounded like a woman.
Bless you.
Thank you, brother, for blessing us with that. I enjoyed it.
Your dialect is full of lies. To listen, I'm not obliged. Ain't no need for you to hide. I see right through your disguise. X-ray vision, I got a set of rebels' eyes. Turn off your TV, cause it will not be televised. The revolution, they put pollution in the solution. Sending men to prison, the women to prostitution. Baby boomers boosting, found print in the Constitution. This shit is not amusing, just illusions of confusion. Authority they abusing, no reports of the intrusion. Sit back and assume it. You getting 40 acres and a muley, you ain't getting no restitution. So I've come to the conclusion, my New Year's resolution is to stay a step above stupid. My tongue is a weapon. You pushing me to prove it. My heart is a rock. There is no way that you can move it. I stand still. Flow rivers deeper than a landfill. You listen to Looney Tunes, I drop knowledge like an anvil. Road runner, running out of gas, not so fast. I see you talking, but I lashing at your ass. The only thing that's gonna come fast is a crash. Say you don't need no assistance. Okay, good, I'll pass. Roadside, jump off the head, take a nosedive. Naked truth, get your shit addressed. Here's a clothesline. Hate to be that open mouth with a closed mind. And them girls been digging me because it's a gold mine.
Okay, with the mic drop, I see what you did.
As a black woman in America, I am often stereotyped. But that don't bother me none. Though there is one I do dare to question. Angry black woman. Is that what you see when you look at me? Because that is how society defines me. Society perpetuates me as some angry being that walks around mad at the world for no reason at all. Yet here I stand with a smile upon my face that says, I will rise above it all. And in fact, I'm not angry. Not at all. But I wonder, what is it about me and sisters like me that strikes fear in the hearts of many? Or so they say. I wonder, is it because sometimes to get my point across, I might just roll my neck or use my hands?
Come on now.
But couldn't that be considered dance? Couldn't that neck roll be associated with the music in my soul? Then I begin to wonder, well, maybe I should be angry. Maybe I should be just who society has defined me to be. Maybe I should be angry because my history was stolen from me. Maybe I should be angry because my ancestors were stolen from their land and sold like cattle in a stolen land where the mere thought of being free left them hanging like strange fruit on a barren tree. Maybe I should be angry. Maybe I should be angry because I am terrified at the thought that I or someone I love will end up not just at a traffic stop, but somehow facing the hasty trigger finger of yet another terrified cop. And we will become victims of yet another justified homicide. Maybe I should be angry. Maybe I should be angry because the same society that is attempting to define me has done everything in its power to bind me. Maybe I should be angry. Maybe I should be angry because throughout history it's been okay to beat, rape, abuse, and misuse women of color. But let a brother so much as whistle at the other. Maybe I should be angry. Maybe we should be angry. Maybe we should be angry because while we are at home teaching our princes and princesses that they were born to be kings and queens, society continues to demean them and does everything in its power to break them, miseducate them, and negate them, like telling our little boys and girls their natural locks and curls are a distraction. Yet on others, it's fashion. Maybe I should be angry. Maybe I should be angry because for some reason this world chooses to believe that brothers are nothing more than thugs that slang drugs, and sisters are nothing more than ass and tits and a place to rest your dicks. Maybe I should be angry. I am not without reason. I am also not, never have been, nor will I ever be who society has defined me to be. We are strong. We are sexy. We are sensational. But we ain't angry. We are intelligent. We are innovative. We are downright inspirational. But we ain't angry. We are powerful. We are passionate. Shit, we damn near perfect. But we damn sure, for sure, ain't angry. I am Queen E, and when she speaks, you listen.
I wanted to share one more piece with you all. Making choices. What kind of child should we choose? Which is right? Baby cold and hard, baby rough and tough, baby heartless and mean, baby wanna be OG, baby without trust, baby without compromise, baby without love. Or should we choose baby who knows our love, baby who knows how to love, baby who trusts us and trusts God, baby who knows compassion, baby who wants to be like you and me, babies who are warm-hearted and full of feelings, baby who know tough love is God's love. Which should we choose?
I watched the planets align in comets form. God kissed my forehead and reminded me that I was his. He took my hand and guided me to a place of refuge. I laid in his bosom, and his love consumed me whole. It washed over me like warm waves in the evening. I blushed, and I lowered my head in shame. I faltered in unworthiness, thinking about my transgressions. And God shored me up without pause. He said, if I needed you to be perfect, you would have been so. He continued to feed my soul until it was overflowing. He molded me in my flat places and removed any remnants of vagrants that damaged and ravaged me. His love for me is candid. He unclothed me in his presence, exposing my vulnerability, and somehow I was unashamed because he knew exactly what I was hiding so well. He smiled in admiration, and I glowed at the sight of him appreciating what I once had devalued. He held me in his arms, and we became one. He imparted his vision to me, and I began to see his greatest works. We ascended together, and he placed me on the throne. It was far too big, I thought. And it was then, as I sat there, that I began to recall a time that I fell so long and hard, feet overhead, I tumbled in darkness, and I had forgotten which way was up. I became dirty and unrecognizable. I was trampled. My crown was stolen, and my mind's eye crusted over from doubt and fear. I could vaguely recall being in command, but somehow I couldn't even summon the power. I couldn't stand properly. The world beat me down, and I no longer stood upright. And I called for help, and no one came. I went further into darkness, looking for something familiar. I found sorrows of many, brokenness I tried to heal, but it drained me. I called out again for help in darkness, and tears wet my cheek, and they began to drip down my chin as I remembered my time in that dark place. I felt ashamed, and I closed my eyes. I lowered my head, feeling unworthy again to be in his presence. He wiped my eyes with massive hands, and he lifted my chin, and he looked into me. He absorbed my sadness, and it didn't even consume him. I looked around, remembering where I was, and I felt this weight on my head. Raising my head, raising my hand, I could feel my crown. It shone so bright and it lit a path in front of me, and God smiled to reveal a dimple in the same place as mine, and he said, Welcome home, goddess.
The trees speak to me. The spirits are in harmonic melody. The wind and leaves ruffle back and forth, whirling in the air as time goes by. I sit and I stare. Momentous sighs, it engulfs me. A breeze, trickle of rain, drops on my face. Respire. The sounds of the water beautifully running, each smear a cool experience of purity. Safest place to be in midline of dimensions, watching time, you see. You are the potter, I am the clay. Molded, sculpted, carved, buffed, sanded in this moment of life. I am not done. Placed in gorgeous spectrum of the radiant light gleaming off the exhibit. Filled by ivories, ferns, palms, and sweet lavender. Draw a veil over the crack in the back. Held together with dough and plaster affix. The crack, substantial, depleting value, is not mend. No longer can be covered up by fancy surroundings, delay an eyesore. Presuming it wasn't there, ceramics gone, fissure, becoming effectual. A child to see the simplicity of enchantress, captivating a masterpiece, authentic and rare, not just perfect, but perfectly imperfect. Flawed yet adorned. Has a vision in mind, still dreams and hopes for a cascade of waterfalls, rainbows and smiles. Wanting to possess this vase, so an investment derived to accomplishing goals. One's junk is another's treasure, restoring one's soul, and the land sleeps.
Like I see the girl got up here without that hair coming on, usually do this.